Okay, y'all. Bree from South Central Baddies just made a video announcing that she is pregnant. Um, Congrats are in order for her. Um, Here's the thing, right? I was reading somewhere, well, two posts, where somebody had said that Knuckles is also pregnant, right? Um, I don't remember her confirming or denying it necessarily, so I'm not gonna say, well, Knuckles is pregnant too. I don't know for a fact, okay? Um, as you all know, I goes up for Miss Bree because she is one of the underdogs from the franchise. Now I'm gonna say this. Okay, y'all know I give my kudos, and I also, give my props, but I also smack people's hand as well. Okay. And I can do that because I believe Bree is around my age. She's around the mid 20s area, I believe. Okay, girl, from me to you, it's time for you to calm down. It's time for you to calm down. If you plan on, moving forward with this pregnancy, it's time for you to calm down. Okay. I'm all for people doing what they need to do as far as, getting things in order. You sound like you have a little bit of sense about you. I told you how I felt about you clowning Cash, which she's supposed to be your friend, about her not having a vehicle. She needs to have her own stuff, So even though I told you that was bad, you making fun of your friend for her not having. In the same token, one thing that was a bad part, but the good thing about me hearing you say that, it showed me that you do have a little bit of sense about you, and you know how to put your priorities in order. Okay. So I don't know if you like me. I've been on my own since I was 20. Okay. I laugh, I joke, I play, but at the end of the day, when it's time to get down to business, it's time to get down to business. Okay. It's time for you to get down to business. You are a mother now. We don't know if it's a boy, we don't know if it's a girl. You say you're not gonna start showing for a while. You're really small, so you're gonna be really cute when you're pregnant. It's probably gonna be like a little basketball. I think you need this baby. Some women, when they get pregnant, they calm down, right? I could definitely see that for you. You do seem like you're a little level-headed. I'm hoping it's not gonna be no baby mama, baby daddy drama. I'm hoping you have a cool, smooth, copacetic, quiet pregnancy. Um, I heard women say all the time, when you carry for a man that doesn't have a lot of mess with him, it makes the pregnancy more easy versus caring for a dude that has a lot of shit with him, right? And I want that for you. Absolutely. I want that for you. I hope that he doesn't take you through a lot of changes, and you don't have to go through, bullshit with him, and just a whole bunch of mess. Um keep paying your bills. I'm sure nobody has to tell you that. With time, you pick up this little stuff here and there for the baby. Y'all, in my opinion, we don't need to see Bree anymore. I don't think she's gonna be on the next season of South Central Baddies. I don't know if they'll have another season this year. We are early in the year. They could. Maybe not. I'm sure they're probably not casting this early. They're probably trying to see how everybody gonna show out for this season. But in my opinion, we don't need to see any more of her. Bree, you came, you defeated, you conquered, you won some, you lost some. But across the board, you're not Queen B out here. Meaning, like, you're not getting your ass whooped left and right. You won some, you lost some. You the type that you can still hold your head. You can still have your head up high. And we can't really say, oh, good bitch. You still did your big one, in my opinion. You swing funny, but you get your licks in. You get your licks in, you done got jumped, you done beat people, you done lost the people. But for the most part, you still breathe. And you ain't bigger than a minute, so we don't really hold you to that. Bree, I can see you doing something like a medical assistant. I know it don't pay much, but I can see you doing something like that. I want you to get yourself together. I don't want to see you on South Central Baddies anymore. I told y'all I would never go to a show like this on any franchise like this, because the type of jobs I work, I just don't want nobody. It's not that I give a fuck what people think. I just don't want people in my Kool-Aid like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. In my opinion, people that come on these type of shows, they are open to just being in the entertainment industry, or they like really big social media people. You know, people, in my opinion, that have long-term plans of, you know, certain jobs, they would never go to a show, you know, franchises like this, in my opinion. There's no need for me to break that down. That went over your head, oh well. But other than that, I need you to do something else. You're a mother now. I don't want her know, oh, my daughter is 2. I took a break from the show. Now I'm coming back. Or my son is 1. He's getting big. You know, y'all know how y'all do. I don't want to hear that from you, Bree. Stay home with your baby. When you have your baby, I don't care if he's 4, 5, 6. You don't need nobody punching you, slapping you, you know, breaking your body down for, you know, when you got to hold him and hold his hand and be there for him, running behind he or she. I think you're going to have a little boy, in my opinion. I'm usually good at sense and stuff like that. I could definitely see you as a boy mom. Absolutely. Playing basketball with him, running behind him. I could definitely see you as a boy mom. But other than that, yeah, congrats to Bree. And I think you need this. Absolutely. You know, you never know. It might calm you down a little bit. Might help you see things clearer. Because you are a little level-headed. But sometimes it's, you know, but maybe this baby will definitely help you see the bigger picture in life. So, congrats, and I hope you have a safe pregnancy. So, look, y'all, I don't mean no harm, but I know this about to come out the wrong way, and I don't care. But anyway, so I was watching a TV show, like a crime documentary, right? And one of the ladies on the crime documentary, she was saying how you know how people get up there and they tell their stories about stuff that happened to them, and, you know, or somebody that they know or love close to them, and they may have been there when it was going on, you know, stuff like that, right? I like to watch stuff like that. I told y'all I love to hear a good trauma story about how people to push through stuff that, you know, that happened to them in their life. Me personally, I'm the type of person, I learn from other people's mistakes. And, you know, my own as well. But, you know, for me, growing up, I think what kept me out of going to jail, and, you know, I told you I used to fight a lot growing up, stuff like that. But for the most part, I think what kept me out of, you know, the judicial system, of course, my undergrad is in pre-law. But I think I made a decision early on. I was going to be on the right side of the judicial system. I wasn't going to be one of the, you know, I wasn't going to be, you know, belonging to the judicial system, if that makes sense, right? So for me growing up, I think what helped me was watching shows like Locked Up Raw, Death Row, you know, shows like that. You know, like I tell my little cousin, my older cousin, when it comes to my little cousin, make sure she watches stuff like that. And she's like, that ain't gonna do no good. And I always tell her, yes, it will. You knew how I was growing up. You know, my pops used to make me sit down and watch that stuff sometime on the weekend, like the marathons. You know, when I would get in trouble, if I wanted to watch TV, he would make me sit down and watch Locked Up Raw, Death Row, you know, stuff like that. And he would put my TV, he had restrictions on my TV to the point where he could adjust it. And if I wanted to watch TV, that's all I could watch. That's all I could watch. And, you know, I used to be so mad and so depressed watching that kind of stuff because it was so depressing. But growing up, low key, I'm glad he made me watch that looking back, because I would look at that kind of stuff and watch how them people live, you know, in that dirty cell, and how they would just, you know, and for me, that made me say, oh, hell no, I can't do this. You know, I remember one lady telling a story about how, you know, they was basically, she was in a prison in, I want to say, was it New York? Was it Yonkers? Or it was one of them prisons up there. They said that was the worst. I can't remember. Don't quote me on it. And she said how they was torturing her, and, you know, and I can't remember what her crime was, but it was something that was really screwed up. Because some type of way she was saying how people can find out what your crime is. They was, it was horrible. Her husband had divorced her. The kids ain't want to be bothered with her. I can't remember what she did, but it was horrible. She was a white lady, just saying. And anyway, so I was watching the crime documentary just then, and the lady was telling her story, which was really sad, right? She had got raped 3 times, all in, I think she said, a week timing, because she got raped by 2 guys the first time, and they never got caught. And then she got raped again when she was trying to walk home. She ran into somebody and he raped her. So she got raped 3 times, right? So, well, more than 3, because she was saying how some of the guys would rape her back to back, right? To the point where it was hours. And she said that 3rd guy, he liked to fuck. She could tell because he was raping her. She was looking at the clock, the time going by, so she could tell he liked to fuck, right? So, he ended up getting caught, because what happened was he stayed in the neighborhood. So he was walking down the road one day and she pointed him out. And back then, it was payphone. So her mama called the payphone and they didn't make a scene. She was like, Mama, that's him. Mama, that's him. Right? When she was riding down the road. And her mama was like, shut up. We don't want him to run. She was like, no, Mama, we don't want him to get away. She was like, no, I see him walking in that building. So what they did was they parked their car close by, and they called the payphone and told the payphone where the man was. You'll see where I'm going with this, right? And the police came and they showed them, because they had already went to the police. This was an ongoing investigation. They couldn't find the other 2 people, but they found him, right? To this day, you'll see where I'm going with this. So the police came, they finally arrested him, because they was, you know how they do the little sketch artists and stuff. And she said the whole time he was raping her, she said he was flipping her back and front, you know, front to the back, front to the back. So she could tell, you know, he liked to fuck, right? So the reason why I say that was she kept saying to herself, you know, even though he tossing and turning you, you know, try to remember things with his face, his nose, his eyes, you know, and stuff like that. So she said growing up, her mama always told her, you know, as a woman, I know I don't want to tell you these things because I pray it never happened to you, but if in event that it ever does, you know, try to remember little stuff, right? And her mama said she never would have thought in a million years her daughter would have actually needed that advice. But she said the whole time he was raping her, she was remembering what her mama was saying. You know, depending on the position, always try to remember little stuff, you know, even all the way down to his penis, how his penis look, you know, stuff like that. You know, you don't know if he got a wife. She may say that you're lying. If you can describe the way the penis look, you know, little stuff like that, she'll know you're not lying, right? So, the breathing and, you know, how he grunts and, you know, the little stuff men do, right? She said, always remind, you know, try to remember little stuff. So when it comes up, And she needed that advice, right? Because her mama had got raped before. So she knew, and her mother, the person that raped her, he ended up getting caught, right? So she knew the stuff to say to the police, and how it worked in her favor, right? So boom, you'll see where I'm going with this. So the other two guys that had raped her, right? They never got caught for some reason. Why? Because she said it was night, and I don't know what happened, right? Why they never got caught. They was more zooming in on the other guy, the person that they actually got, right? Because the other two was friends. So fast forward, and I think she said 5 or 6 years later. I can't remember. Was this in was it Chicago or I forgot what state. I think it was or was it Louisiana? I can't remember. It was one of them states. I can't remember. Right? Don't quote me on it. So the other guys, she said she was looking on the news one day, a couple years later, and I think by that time she said her mama had went on, right? And because she said she missed her mama every day. She held on to her mother's strength. So she said she was looking on the news one day, and one of the guys that had raped her, she found out that, let's just say, he got murdered, and it was about 10 holes in his body. Whoever had murdered him had put 10 holes in his body. But what happened was, on his deathbed, he told his mama, I guess because they was fighting for him for a little bit, they thought he was gonna make it, but he told his mama that what the people had said he did, the reason why they had fired him up like that, he really didn't do it, right? Y'all see where I'm going with this. He told his mama what they said he did, the reason why they popped him. He really didn't do that, right? He said, "Mama, I really didn't do it this time," right? But he told his mama, he said, he take this as his karma, because even though he didn't do this, he has done something else. And he said he got away with it, right? He said, so it just so happened, when I really am innocent, this is the fate, right? So his mama was like, what you mean, son? What da. Because the mama had went to the news and had said, she's writing off her son's wrong, right? You see what I'm getting with this. So he told his mama what he did to somebody. He said he don't even know the girl name. He said, me and so-and-so, I forgot the boy name. He said, me and so-and-so, we did something and we got away with it, right? Because they never got caught. So on his deathbed, he admitted, because he felt like he was about to go on, right? But he wanted God to open the gate for him, So that was his way, I guess, of repenting and admitting to all the wrongs he had did. And on his deathbed, he told his mama what he did to that girl, right? And he said, I didn't do this, but I did do that, right? So his mama called him a monster and told him to rot in hell. And she said, I didn't raise you to be like that. You horrible, da. So, she said he died not long after that. I think she said he died later on that evening. And, I can't remember what she said they did with his body. I can't remember, right? So, boom, right? So on the news, she must have got on the news a couple years later or something. And she had told the public, she said, my son admitted to raping somebody in the alley, and the details of what happened, that's how she found out that who it was. You see what I'm saying? Because she was saying all the details because her son had told her what happened. Y'all, so that's when she found out that it was him, right? So that's when her sisters and them was happy, that he got karma. I mean, and I don't think that makes them evil, because as anybody, if something like that happens to you, you gonna, I think that's human nature. You gonna feel like, damn, because even though they got one guy, but what about the other two? I think any woman would feel like you want everybody caught, not just one out of three. You want everybody caught, So yeah, so more of the story, y'all. Like I told my cousin the other day. And, you know, people don't want to hear it. You know, a lot of the times I don't feel bad when I see stuff on the news that has happened to some people, because I'm going to give you an example. I was watching a talk show the other day, and the guy was convicted of, you know, taking advantage of a woman. We're going to put it that way because I know you too funny about some words. And long story short, he took a lie detector test and he didn't do it. But, you know, he has said how, you know, I can admit to my wrongs. He says it's been times he done pistol whoop people that ain't did nothing to him, rob people that, you know, innocent people coming out of the stores. You know, he had admitted to a lot of shit he did. He stole from his mama. You know, a lot of stuff. He said he used to be a bully in school, picking on people. And coming from somebody like me that used to experience, you know, fighting a lot in school and people doing shit and getting away with it. I think I can speak from my own perspective that it's not nice. It's not cool, at all, right? So, nonetheless, like I put in the comments, you know, you may have not, you know, did what they said you did this time, but look at all the other things you have done. You see where I'm going with it? Like, people forget the part where you may not have did that, but you still got this big proportion over here that you was getting away with robbing, stealing, sticking people up. You know, you pistol whipped somebody just because you was in a gang and you was trying to get in the gang. So that was the task that they gave you. But look at how you got this person over here walking around with no teeth. They got to go through their life dealing with that. You see what I'm saying? Like, they ain't did shit to you. So you may not have did that, but you look at this big proportion over here. You see what I'm saying? You get where I'm going with it? So a lot of the times when I see stuff go on, sometimes it really is a fucked up situation, right? But see, a lot of the times we don't know what these people have done that they have gotten away with in the dark. They thought nobody saw. You know what I'm saying? Or it may be a case where people may have lied for you, covered up shit for you. And it's just that one time when you really, really didn't get away with it. You know, so we all have to be cautious of what we do, because sometimes we can create our own karma by doing little shit on the slide when nobody's watching. You know, so yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. And that was very interesting. You know, be cautious. Like I've learned recently, be careful who you give your sympathy to. Because even for me, you know, I gave somebody my sympathy just last year. And she was the first bitch, the ringleader, to put a sword in my back. You know? And that's why I've learned in life, you know, be careful. Oh, you don't deserve that. Oh, that was so fucked up. Because you'll be surprised the little shit people do. And they wonder why they're sitting in the situations that they're in. But, yeah, that's it. That's all.